informations you can get.
And if any of our audience would betul-betul want to get personalized consultation, where can they go for?
Maybe you want to find me, or actually you can just go to Beacon Wellness page, then you just text with us and look for our consultant dietitians. So we will have like personalized consultation with you to actually tackle your issues.
So any Hi everyone! Welcome back to our live cooking show. My name is Jolene. I'm Marketing Executive of iNNOCHEF Malaysia. To those who don't know, I'm also a nutritionist graduated from UPM with a master degree. So now you know I'm a nutritionist. Okay, so that's why I'm here today with our special guest from Beacon Wellness. So let's welcome Nathan.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Nathan. So I'm the consultant dietitian from Beacon Wellness. And also I'm specially manage the Beacon Kitchen, which currently we have created with those cooking recipes and also healing diets.
Healing diets?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do, you are talking about being a dietitian in Beacon Wellness, right? So what does a dietitian do? Because I'm pretty sure most of our audience are quite curious about what does a dietitian do. So what does a dietitian do, and what do you do in Beacon Wellness?
Okay. So actually dietitians commonly you can find in clinical, the hospital itself. So normally from there, we are actually helping you to manage and choose the right foods for you in like inpatient wards, or during the outpatients, you'll be looking for us as similar to community dietitians, which actually I'm working at now, the Beacon Wellness, that we actually do community settings to actually help those patients, or we say clients, with diseases like hypertension, cholesterol, or diabetes for their own health with lifestyle and also diet changes. Then also because as I'm a Beacon Wellness dietitian, so I'm working managing the Beacon Kitchen, so which we actually create all those healing diets which I mentioned just now. So all those recipes we are actually creating for community. You can find us in our social media.
Okay. So your social media page is
Beacon Kitchen.
Beacon Kitchen.
Yep.
Okay. So we have this handsome dietitian here today. He can cook. He can give you health information. So if any one of you want to bump into him anywhere in Beacon Wellness, maybe you can check out Beacon Wellness or any of the Beacon
Mart.
Yeah. So just go anywhere that's named Beacon. Then maybe you can bump into him. Okay. All right, let's introduce our recipe today. Today we are going to cook a famous or very common dish in Malay cuisine, which is called sayur lodeh. I'm not sure whether our audience have heard about sayur lodeh. If any one of you have heard about sayur lodeh, please type yes in the comment section. If no, then please type sayur lodeh. I want to eat sayur lodeh in the comment section, okay? All right, so other than cooking, because we have Nathan here today, so of course we are going to talk about some health information. Okay, today our focus will be metabolic syndrome and how can we eat healthy during Raya if you have metabolic syndrome. All right, so
Yep.
Do you want to talk about what's metabolic syndrome briefly?
Briefly. Yeah. So metabolic syndrome, as I just mentioned just now, which we actually treat those clients with diseases like hypertension, high cholesterol, and also diabetes.
Alright.
So actually, that's the 3 conditions of metabolic syndrome.
Is it in Chinese we call 三高, right?
三高, yes,
okay,
correct.
Okay.
Then actually the 4th one will be actually obese or overweight. So actually these 4 are the friends we will consider as the metabolic syndrome. So try to avoid these 4 and don't be friend of one of these because those 3 will come by together as well. So we will talk about more things during the cooking session later on. Stay tuned.
Okay, so like what you said, stay till the end. And if you want to know more about how can you eat healthy while enjoying Raya food, then remember to like and share this Facebook Live, okay? So that you can get this information out to your friends and families and then benefit them in a better way, all right? So, shall we?
Yep.
Let's start cooking.
Let's start.
Okay, so the first step will be marinating tofu and tempeh, okay? We'll be marinating tofu and tempeh with oil and salt, just simple. Very simple marination. So this is tempeh, if any one of you haven't seen tempeh before. Okay, and this is tofu. So right now we just sprinkle with some salt, just a little bit, because we want to reduce our sodium intake, right?
Yep.
Sprinkle some. Is enough?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Enough?
For those people who used to cook, then maybe this is not enough for them. Like used to cook like good food, flavorful food. Maybe this is not enough for them, lah. But because today we are trying to incorporate healthy eating into our dish, so this is probably enough for healthy eating, lah. Okay. All right. So now we spray a layer of oil on top to make it to coat it with oil so that we can make it crispy later when we air fry it. Okay, so I think we may need to space this out a little bit so that we can make sure every single piece crispy. So this is also one of the tips lah. If you want to make sure the thing that you air fry in your air fryer to be crispy, make sure you space it out, okay? So that as the air can surround the food to get all the moist out and then make it crispy, okay?
Yep.
Right, so now let's move it to the air fryer. So how long are we going to air fry it?
So we'll be using the temperature of 180 degrees Celsius and by using 10 minutes to actually air fry the tofu and also tempeh.
Okay.
So we'll start on that.
All right. So now we are going to make the paste, okay? So the paste is quite important for this sayur lodeh dish, all right? The sayur lodeh is mainly the flavor is from this and also from santan. We'll talk about santan later, okay? So we have dried shrimp here, and then we have paste here. Okay, so before we're talking about the paste, just now we were air frying tofu, right?
Yeah.
So we are air frying tofu, but we want to let the audience know about the benefit of tempeh and tofu.
Yep.
Okay, so tempeh and tofu is actually a very good plant-based protein. Okay, so do you want to talk about plant-based protein and how does it benefit our health?
Yep. So actually, plant-based protein we can find actually is tofu, tempeh. These two are actually quite a complete protein, and it is actually a healthier way because we doesn't have any saturated fats in it. If you compare to those like animal fats and all, yeah. So actually, proteins also help us to build our cells and also repair and regenerate. So it actually important for us to actually include protein in our diet. And also for those who are, which are mentioned that they have diabetes, protein is actually a good thing that they need to input in their meals because it can help to balance out their blood sugar levels,
Okay,
and also give more satiety.
Okay. And of course, tempeh and tofu is also very affordable in Malaysia because it's very accessible. So if you want to include more plant-based protein into your diet, then maybe tofu and tempeh is your choice. All right. So proceed to the paste. Okay. So now we are going to blend this set of spices and herbs and dried shrimp in our iNNOCHEF Touch. All right. So we have the recipe on our recipe cloud already. You just search EV sayur lodeh on your search bar or in your ads, then you will get all this information. Okay. So we have prepared all the ingredients, and then we have moved on to the second step. Okay, wait, let me just get this. So you just add all these ingredients into your iNNOCHEF Touch. Then you can start blending it already. So first we add water. So we have a scale on the screen that you can refer to. And then next, dried shrimp. And we have shallots, garlic, and turmeric. Just throw everything in lah. Okay, after that, the last one, you have to add 1 teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon, huh? Is it too much?
It's fine.
It's fine,
If
because
you are
this one,
sharing,
this is sharing dish, not your eat alone dish, okay? So 1 teaspoon, okay? Yeah. Every time if you use a lot of salt or oil in front of dietitian, then they might. Okay, so now we just let the machine do its work, okay? So now let me show you the paste first, okay? Not done yet, okay? Not done yet. So this is the paste, or the liquid lah, the liquid broth that we are going to use for cooking later. So right now you have to scrape it first because we are going to make sure everything is in the bowl and then we are going to cook it later lah. Alright? So with this machine, it's very easy for you to make paste or make pigmented liquid broth like this because turmeric is very pigmented. So if you do it in your blender and then you transfer it to your pan and then you cook it on your stove top, you might risk staining your white wall or white kitchen cabinet with turmeric. And then it's very difficult to remove the turmeric color.
You will stain at our blender.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's quite inconvenient if you don't have this kind of machine in your home. So with this machine, it's very easy for you to just blend and then cook inside. So that's one of the convenient lah. That's one of the most convenient thing that we have with iNNOCHEF Touch. Alright. So after scraping everything down, then just continue with the step. So we just cook this for 10 minutes and then after that we'll add in the vegetables, alright? So while waiting for the liquid broth to be cooked, we can talk about metabolic syndrome. Just now Nathan talked about metabolic syndrome, right? So what is metabolic syndrome and what are the conditions of metabolic syndrome?
So actually metabolic syndrome, we just now mentioned that there is 4 conditions, which are the obese, overweight, or like the hypertension, then high cholesterol, as well as high blood sugars.
Alright.
Yeah, so these 4 conditions will be incorporated and is considered as metabolic syndromes.
So if I have any one of these, does that mean that I have metabolic syndrome, or if I have to be having 2 or 3 of that?
Normally the criteria will be having 2 and above. Then you are considered you having the metabolic syndromes. So which is actually we don't want it to be worsening, because actually if you get one of these, it will come by 2, 3, and 4.
It's a package.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
in
it's
a
a
package.
package of a bundle, like 4 friends
A
together.
bundle, okay.
Yeah.
We don't
So
want that.
which we are talking about the salts, right? So salt, just now as Jolene mentioned, that we couldn't actually take too much, and that's why actually for hypertension,
Okay.
we will be more monitoring on the salt intake.
Okay, that's for
Yeah.
hypertension
Yep.
patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually for one person, actually for whole day we recommended not more than 1 teaspoon.
Not more than 1
Yeah.
teaspoon.
So
for
actually
salt
for
lah.
yes,
Okay.
for additional salts. So that's why for this one sharing platter is fine lah. Not
Okay.
a problem. So
Alright.
just make sure not to take additional salt intake from like those sauces and other things.
Okay. Adds up 1 teaspoon of salt lah,
Yeah,
right?
add up
okay,
to
okay,
1
understand,
teaspoon of
understand. Okay, so what are the other conditions that we need to be
Yep. Actually, why we say these 4 metabolic syndromes will come by together is because actually, if one of it, normally we will say the first one will
Okay.
be obese
Okay.
or overweight. Then
That's quite
it will
common.
link to high blood cholesterol.
How does it link to high blood cholesterol?
So actually, if you are being overweight or obese, you have actually increased your fat deposits in your body.
Okay.
That's why when the high fats is in the blood vessels,
Okay.
it will actually clog up those vessels and all. That's why that is terms of the cholesterol.
So that means if you are someone who is overweight or obese, you might have higher cholesterol or you have higher risk of getting
Yep.
high cholesterol
High
in your body.
cholesterols, yep.
And the high cholesterol might,
Deposits
Deposit.
in the blood vessel itself.
okay. So after that, then
Yeah.
is there anything happen after
Then that's how we actually always link to like heart disease and also like stroke.
high blood pressure?
Yep.
Okay,
So
okay, because
stroke because of high blood pressure.
Alright,
Yeah. So
alright.
because of the fats depositing in the blood vessels, and it shrinks down, actually causing the blood vessels to be much smaller. That's why our blood pressure are increasing.
Oh,
to push
okay.
out to actually pump out more blood.
okay,
Yeah,
it's
to
more
all-
difficult for our heart to pump blood through those tiny
Yep.
little
Holes.
sempit
Yeah,
holes.
yeah.
Okay.
So when we are saying this, normally we will say about our piping system and all.
Okay.
Yeah, when it actually clog out with all the dirt and all,
Okay,
our
yeah.
the pipe pressures will be lower, right?
Oh, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very great analogy.
Yeah.
It's easier to understand that way. So if your pipe in your home is clogged, it's gonna burst, right?
Yeah.
It's going to burst easily. So if you maintain it and then if you clean it regularly, and it will be easier. The flow of the water is
Yep.
easier and smoother, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
That's why when it's clogged, it need more pressure. So our heart will pump more blood towards there and increase the blood pressures.
Okay.
That's why it will cause like hypertension.
Wait, is our tempeh and tofu done? Okay, we can check with this. Be careful. How is it? How does it look? Okay, so if you like your tempeh and tofu to be more crispy and to look golden, you can increase your temperature and time. So right now, for me, I think I would like it to be more golden lah. All right,
Yeah.
so let's add maybe 5 more minutes. Let's see lah. Let's see. Air fry it and then temperature. I'll just set it at 205. So let's see lah later. We'll have to monitor the color of the tempeh and tofu. So, do we have any indicator for us to diagnose or to say that, oh, you are obese or you are high blood pressure or you are diabetic, right?
Yep.
Is there any indicator?
Yeah. So normally, the most commonly we will see is by weight itself lah.
Okay.
Then
That's
actually,
for obesity, right?
That's for obesity as well as overweight lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, how do we determine? Is we will determine by the one called BMI,
Alright.
which is the body mass index, which we will compare your height and your weight. So we will categorize is in a normal range or not. So normally we have the BMI values. So if actually we have more than 30, then we will term is at obesity.
Okay, more than 30.
More than 30.
More than 30. If your BMI is higher than 30, you are considered as obesity. Okay.
Yep.
So how about high blood pressure?
Yeah. So high blood pressures normally we will measure by using the blood pressure pump. Then that one, if you measure more than, we have actually the systolic and also diastolic pressure. So
Okay.
you can look at that up and down values.
The higher value and
Yeah.
the lower value. Okay.
Yeah. So higher one normally if more than 140, lower one with more than 90 or 100, then it will term as you having hypertension.
Okay. 140 stroke 90.
90,
Okay.
yes.
So what about glucose, which is our the blood sugar lah.
Yeah.
So if our blood sugar more than what number?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are some numbers in the health report that
Yeah,
people can
yeah.
refer to. So right now, if you're curious, go and check your health report and then see if the number is within the number that Nathan is going to say or not.
So for blood glucose, normally we will test, the simplest one will be the fasting glucose.
Okay.
So that one, if we are more than 6.1,
Okay.
and also it depends on your blood reports. If different lab will have different reference range.
Okay.
So commonly it will be around 6.1.
Alright.
If more than that, you will have risk of actually having high blood sugars. It's not really termed as diabetes.
Okay, understand. So
We also will check on another one,
Okay.
calling the HbA1c,
Oh,
which
okay,
is
that's
the
another
3 months blood sugar, to actually confirm if you're having diabetes or not.
Okay. So what's the number for that?
For that will be more than 7.
More than 7.
more
I
than
thought
7.
it's 6.5.
Yeah, actually if 6.5, you might be having diabetes already, or
Okay.
actually it's just you are having a risk. So we
Okay.
actually won't term you as a diabetes if
Alright.
you are 6.5 to 7.
Okay,
We will still monitor like for a year, because every 3 months we will monitor on that readings.
Okay. But anyhow, if
Yeah.
your number is more than 6.5, don't be feeling lucky, okay?
Yeah.
You are not in a safe zone. So
Yeah.
still have to monitor and take care of your blood sugar, all right?
Yeah.
So how about cholesterol?
Yeah, so cholesterol as well, you will test this on the parameters of your blood test. So which is the lipid profile. So we will look at the total cholesterol and also HDL and LDL. So normally we will see the triglycerides and also LDL cholesterol.
Triglyceride,
And
LDL,
cholesterol.
okay.
So this one you just need to refer on the reference range itself.
Okay,
Because
so
if
different.
I'm saying it's too
Okay.
complicated.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, just go back to your
Yeah.
health report and check your triglyceride, LDL, and then there will be a range at the back of your health report.
Then you
and
just
then
compare it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
If you
okay.
still don't understand, maybe you can
just go Beacon Hospital to find him.
yeah, find us, the consultant dietitians, or you can find your family doctors as well.
Sure. All right. So I guess the audience get to know more about metabolic syndrome. So what are the 4 metabolic syndrome again?
Yeah,
Let's
so
repeat for the
actually
audience.
it's the overweight, obesity, then high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and also diabetes.
Okay, so you don't want any one of these, and if you have 2 or above, you'll be considered as having metabolic syndrome, which is you get a package, which you don't want. Okay, this is the package that you don't want. All right.
It's a free package, which we don't want that as well.
We don't want that. All right. Okay, so we are going to add the vegetables in later after the paste is done. So it's almost done already. All right. 15 seconds more. Okay. So we can smell the dried shrimp, the smell of dried shrimp, and so the smell of turmeric already. So I hope it's gonna looks good. Okay, the paste or the liquid broth is done. Let's look at it. So whoever cooking with iNNOCHEF Touch at this moment, remember remove it slowly, okay? So look at the paste. So it doesn't look like anything right now, okay? Don't worry, because we are going to add more stuff in it, okay? So this is our flavor lah, the main flavor of our sayur lodeh. So right now we have to add in, I'll close this first, coconut milk and most of the other vegetables. But for this recipe, for today, we are using 200 grams of coconut milk only, okay? Because According to Nathan, coconut milk is high in saturated fat, but not according to Nathan. It's true lah, okay? It's true, it's a fact. So this is high in saturated fat and it might not be that good for our health. We will talk about it later. So now let's add in the coconut milk first. 200 grams of coconut milk. So because we reduced the amount of coconut milk already, so we increased the amount of water, okay? So supposed to be 200 grams, so we replace half of it with 200 grams of water, okay? More. Okay, so we have water and coconut milk. Then we add in all the other vegetables. Carrot, long beans, and we have this one, sengkuang. And then we have, oh my god, you can see, okay, pucuk. Pucuk, remember to soak it, okay. And then cabbage. Alright, so right now, oh my god. Luckily, I didn't wear white shirt, okay? Okay, now we just have to click next for everything. Okay, we need to add chicken stock also. Okay, for this step. Chicken stock and then salt, okay? How much salt again? 1 teaspoon. Another 1 teaspoon. Are you okay with that?
It's fine.
Are you okay with that?
I will try it later to see how saltiness it is.
Okay, so this is chicken stock and then 1 teaspoon of salt. So if you think this is too salty for you, you just adjust yourself lah, okay? The recipe is there for you as a guidance only, okay? So right now, we just let the machine to cook the vegetable, alright? Okay, so let's talk about the coconut milk. Because this recipe, we reduce half of the coconut milk and replace it with water. So why do we have to be aware of, be mindful of our santan intake? Why?
Okay, so santan, like coconut milk, so it is actually high in saturated fat, which is causing the blood cholesterol and also the fat deposits in our body. So actually this type of saturated fat is kind of, normally we found it in animal sources, but from coconut milk itself, we can actually find this kind of saturated fat as well. So it can be considered better than those animal sources, but we don't want too high saturated fat to be intake as well.
Because saturated fat is not as beneficial as unsaturated fat to our health anyway, right? So doesn't matter if it's coming from animal or if it's coming from plant. Saturated fat is saturated fat. So for now, most of the scientific evidence have only telling us saturated fat might be not beneficial to our health. So right now, we just have to be aware of the amount. You don't have to be avoiding it at all.
Actually avoiding or cutting out or everything.
You just have to be mindful about the amount of saturated fat you get from either plant sources or animal sources. Right?
So normally you will see like online or social media, they will say good fat or bad fat. So normally we can say that bad fat is like saturated fat and all, and good fat will be like unsaturated fats and all. That's actually because of the saturated fat, it will affect our body to increase those cholesterol levels. That's what we don't want. And actually unsaturated fat, why is it good? Because it's actually increase our good cholesterol in our body, and that is termed the HDL cholesterol, which is actually helps to reduce those bad cholesterol, the LDL triglycerides in our blood vessels.
Okay, so you're talking about unsaturated fats as beneficial fat that benefits our body, right? So what are the sources of unsaturated fat?
So normally unsaturated fat, one simple way is from omega-3. So omega-3, you know, is like from fish oil and all. So actually fish oil, if from raw foods, it will from the salmon and saba fish.
Oh, okay.
All the fishes actually have omega-3. But
High
these two,
fat fish?
Yeah, these two type of fishes are high in omega-3.
Okay, but high in cholesterol also, right? No, sorry,
Really.
sorry. High in calories. I'm talking,
Okay.
sorry. So it's high in omega-3, but also high in calories, right? Because they are high in fat.
High in fats.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So if you are trying to get more healthy fats, omega-3 into your diet by having more of these fatty fish, just be mindful about the calories intake also. Okay, so just to balance it out lah.
Yeah.
Balance it out.
Balance it out.
Diversify your omega-3 intake. Is there any plant-based
Yeah.
omega-3
There's
sources?
actually plant-based. The best one will be from the chia seeds and
Okay.
also flax seeds. Then we actually
okay.
get other from those nuts and seeds.
Okay, true. Okay, so those are the plant-based proteins for those vegetarians that cannot eat fish lah. Okay, so just now our tempeh and tofu also kind of done already. Let's look at the color of the tempeh and tofu. Okay, it looks almost okay. Would you like it to be more crispy or it's done for you?
Yeah. For tempeh, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Maybe tofu can be much more crispy lah.
Much more crispy, right? Okay, so if any one of you feel like you want to make it crispier, just add 2 minutes like that lah. Alright?
Yep.
So we'll just move it there first. Okay, right.
So the color for actually using air fryer will not be so beautiful as you are using the deep frying.
Of course lah, of course lah. But you have to take care of the health, right?
Yeah.
Because by using air fryer, you can use less oil,
Yep.
so you don't have to get in more calories into your body also, right?
Yep. So it's a better cooking methods.
Yeah. You didn't see just now, he just sprayed one spray, that's all. He didn't even add another spray to make it more crispy.
Yeah.
Okay, so just use the amount that is more comfortable for you, but also be mindful about the amount of the oil that you use, okay?
Yep.
Just find the balance between healthy and also
And
tasty.
tasty.
Yeah, so it's important because if you don't make your food tasty enough, you don't have the motivation to continue to eat it also, right? So it cannot be like, no taste, no salt at all, no oil. Cannot lah, okay? Don't be so extreme, okay? So our sayur lodeh is almost done, almost. So if I want to change some of the vegetables, you can do that also, but make sure you use most of the hardy vegetables. Like cabbage is also quite hardy, maybe okra is also quite good. So those vegetables that can tahan cooking lah, because this one we are going to cook for 6 minutes or 10 minutes. So if you use some leafy vegetables, then it will not look nice lah, okay? Okay, let's have a look. Let's look at it. Ooh, look at that.
Looks nice.
Yeah. So we haven't done yet. We are not done yet. If you think this is like quite raw for you, no worries, because we are going to add glass noodle. Okay. And then we'll add all the tempeh and tofu that we fried just now. Okay. Add in the proteins. For gym bros out there, I don't think this is enough for you. So you just add your own protein later on lah. Okay. Alright, so now we continue to cook for about 4 minutes. Okay, yep, 4 minutes. So, we are almost done with our sayur lodeh, and then we talk about metabolic syndrome, and we talk about suntan, we talk about how to modify our recipe. Is there any other changes that our audience can make during this festive season so that they can enjoy Raya food but also take care of their health?
Yep. So just some tips like during Raya, right? we know that we have much more like open houses and every meals and also dessert, biscuits and all.
So all the good foods.
Yeah. So firstly, actually, is to take note on the amount.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, on the portion sizes, if you are taking like dessert, biscuits or kueh or that, try to take just one piece during your visiting, and also maybe just share around with your friends and family, because actually one piece. Because we have actually variety of biscuits.
How big is that one piece?
One piece maybe you can have like, yeah, maybe 2 times size.
Okay, 2 times size, everyone.
2 times size. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is actually a variety of that. So
Okay.
you actually can eat a few lah, because you can eat a few. So that's why you need to take note on each.
True,
biscuits
understand.
to take just one piece.
Okay, because of the variety.
Yeah,
Now
because
I
of
understand.
varieties. It's not because you just eat one piece at one open house.
Okay, ya kesiannya. Jika makan satu ketul je. So, okay, understand.
Yeah.
Then by having that in my mind, then yes, it's easier to understand that because you have variety.
Yeah.
So it's easier. It's better for you to control portion for each type of the kueh, so that you can get variety of kueh. And
you can taste it all out.
Exactly.
Instead of just one.
Exactly. Okay, so any other tips?
Other things is like on the sweetened beverages. So normally we're taking like syrup bandung and all. Yeah. So those maybe you can try to reduce or limit the amount lah. Just give yourself like 1/4 per day or other day. Then other than that, you can take most of the time is plain water.
Okay. Most of it plain water, and then only one sweet drinks per day. Okay, one sweet drink per day.
Or if you like to modify, actually our Beacon Kitchen we have created one of the healthier way of syrup bandung as well.
Okay.
You can have a look as well.
Okay, you can go on to their Beacon Kitchen Facebook page
Beacon Kitchen
or Instagram page
Yep.
to find out the recipe. All right.
Yep.
And
so the last thing will be when we are eating like whole meals and all, we will looking at one plate.
Okay.
So maybe we will try to take on like the suku separuh, which is this kind of plate. Yeah. So it's a Malaysian healthy plate.
this is a healthy eating concept for you to follow. Easy, no brainer.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't need to think about how much I need to eat or what. Just follow this. Okay. So how should we follow this concept?
So when we say like suku separuh, it's because of the quarter, and also half. So quarter we will have like our breads, rice and all. Then also our proteins. So like those tofu, tempeh and also fish, chicken and all. So those you are just taking quarter of the plate.
Okay.
Then half of the plate try to fill up with your fruits and vegetables. To actually increase more on like our fibers, to give more satiety and also the vitamins and minerals that are much more beneficial.
Okay. Remember, screenshot this and do whatever you want. Follow this suku separuh concept if you are someone that's lazy to eat healthy in a very complex way. So this is a very simple concept to follow. All right. Okay. So I guess this is the general idea for our audience to follow, which is to reduce or control your portion, to reduce your sweetened beverage intake, and also to eat following the suku separuh concept, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it's done. Okay. So now everything is done. We just have to transfer this to a bowl and assemble it. Okay.
This is the exciting part.
To taste, yes. Let's taste test, okay? Alright. Let me just move this aside. Thank you. Okay. Everyone, look at the color. Ta-da. Okay. Be careful, huh? Oh, okay. Luckily, everyone is wearing black today. Okay, let me get the spatula. Thank you. So we have all the vegetables cooked, and then the glass noodle is just nice, and everything is just nicely done. And look at the color, the turmeric. And we have pucho and all this one. This is actually quite a healthy meal.
Looks balanced.
Looks balanced. So, how can we to make this dish even more balanced? Is there any way that we can improve this meal to make it even more balanced?
Yeah. So actually, why this is actually look balanced is because it has like abundance of vegetables, and also we have protein, the tempeh and tofu. So what is lacking maybe is just some of the carbohydrates, but we will choose a better carbohydrates like whole grains. So maybe taking brown rice and all will be better. So also to control on the rice portions.
Okay, so if, for example,
Yeah.
if you are following this suku spiral concept, how can we eat this with, like, okay, you said rice, so rice should be here. Just 1/4 of it, quarter of your rice, and then vegetables.
Vegetables, and also including the tofu and tempeh. If it's not enough quarter, maybe you can add some of your meat, fishes, other than that.
Okay, okay. So this is a good way for you to apply on any other dish, right? Any other dish, not just sayur lodeh. Any other dish, use the same concept to help you to eat balanced meal. All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Nathan, to be here with us today to talk about to cook with us. Basically, I'm the one. But okay. But he actually gave us a lot about. Give us a lot about information, about the information about metabolic syndrome, and also how can we improve our health, and then by eating healthily while also enjoying good food. Right? So I guess that's almost about it today. And if there is any audience of us would like to know more about the recipe, healthy recipe, where can they go for?
Actually, you can just find us in Facebook, Instagram of our Beacon Kitchen page. So there we have created the healthy recipes, or we will say healing diets, according to diseases as well.
According to diseases, okay.
So maybe like if you have hypertension or high cholesterol, then you can look for some of it, and also try to make that.
Okay, so if any one of you would like to know more about healthy eating and also diseases, find out Beacon Kitchen.
So if more health information, you can actually look for our page on Beacon Wellness.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how we actually have our wellness program, and also those healthy informations you can get.
And if any of our audience would betul-betul want to get personalized consultation, where can they go for?
Maybe you want to find me, or actually you can just go to Beacon Wellness page, then you just text with us and look for our consultant dietitians. So we will have like personalized consultation with you to actually tackle your issues.
So any one with diseases or even just general health, they can also go for consultation.
Just general, or anyone if you would like to have weight loss or actually build your muscles, you also can let us know.
Okay, okay. All right, so thank you so much again for your kind like sharing and everything. And remember to like and share this Facebook Live to bring this information to all your families and friends. And if you'd like to see Nathan again on our Facebook Live, or maybe our physical health talk, maybe, type I want to see Nathan again in our comment section, and then we'll see how can we arrange that for you. Okay? All right, thanks for joining our live, and see you next time.
Yeah,
see you next time.
We'll see you.
See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ooh, glass noodle. The glass noodle is quite difficult to get it with later. Okay.
That's some.
Thank you. It's thickening up.
Some tofu.
Protein.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. I'll try the tofu. Oh, it's hot. Be careful. It's hot. Very flavorful. I like the flavor of the shrimp.
Yeah, it's quite flavorful with those herbs and spices. Then half of the santan actually it won't cause any slight difference on it, but the taste is still good.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's okay actually. Yeah, the santan, it didn't affect much. The taste is there. The creaminess is there. Is it too salty for you?
Yeah, for me actually, it's slightly a bit saltier.
Okay.
So we can actually reduce on that.
Maybe half of the chicken stock powder or half of the salt Okay, so you just adjust according to your preference So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this.
Thank you for the hello.
Okay, yay.